Welcome to the model room. Thanks for checking in, and I hope you had a great holiday. So, okay, my question today is, what is this? Well, obviously, it's a 32 Ford Roadster, but in reality, it didn't start out life as a Roadster. It started out as this, the 5-window coupe. This goes back a long ways. This has been a work in progress for, 10 years, more than 10 years, I think. In any case, when I decided to do this and I wanted to do a Roadster, I thought, well, rather than go out and buy another kit, I'll just cut the top off of this. So I did, and I think that the side may be a little longer than the usual Roadster, but I think it looks pretty cool, looks pretty good. And I decided to get into this because the other day I was doing that video about the 30-year build. It reminded me of all the kits that I have unfinished, and I want to finish them. So I'm not giving up on anything else. We're going to finish the Porsche as well. I have to do that test of 6 different clear coats, and we're going to do the trigger airbrush comparison. But in the meantime, I'm also going to get started on this and try and get this done in an expeditious manner. Now, I've done a sectioning on the side that is kind of a 3 scale inch section. This goes back also a long ways. In fact, the beginnings of this model kit build go back so far that I'm not sure what I really had in mind for it. I'm going to make it up as I go along. But I did do the sectioning, came out pretty good. The wheel arch came out fairly well. I have to add a little piece, I think, a piece of styrene in here to match the sort of front lip. But I can do that, and then I got to sand out the putty. But it worked out okay. Now, in addition, I cut off the cowl because I wanted to have a Duval windshield. So I took the cowl from the Phantom Vicky kit, and I'm putting this on here, and I think that'll look good with a Duval. Now, yesterday, I decided that I would section the interior panels because obviously they would stick up if I didn't cut them down just as much. So I did that. I used the razor saw, and I also used the Sonic cutter that I showed you a couple of videos ago. I didn't film it. Frankly, I mentioned before, I have old man's eyes, so I have to get him really close to see it well. And I did that. You just see my nose and my glasses, so there'll be no point. You know how to use a razor saw, and you can look at that other video if you want to check out that Sonic saw. This side, I think, for some reason, even though I followed the tape, came out just a little long. I think part of it is going to have to be sanded just a little bit, but otherwise it fits. It's okay. I did use this 3M tape. This is a pretty thick tape, so when I put it on, this is 1/8 inches, about 3 scale inches. I put it on, and I can cut with the tape right on there and follow my guide. So there's that. In addition, I also did the floor pan with the back, and that back, that is not Tamiya tape. Looks like it though, doesn't it? What that is Tamiya 2-part polyester putty. This is my first use. I really like this stuff, and it's pretty neat. So the putty is white, and the hardener is this orange color, and when you mix them, you get a sort of yellow color that's supposed to match the cap, and then you have the right ratio. That's a pretty neat idea, I think. In addition, Tamiya was smart enough to make the opening for the hardener very small, so when you go to pour it out, it comes out in a measured manner so you can get just exactly what you want. That works out very well. So, okay, I've done some other things. I painted up the frame. Here's the engine. This is the 427 Cammer. Looks like I drilled out for the carbs. I'm not sure I'm going to use this, though. I may want to do something else. I'm thinking about doing this in a blue metallic, and then with a black engine and frame. It can be kind of a black and blue. I don't like to name my models like a black and blue build. In any case, I don't know if I'll use it. I got this model kit out of the shed yesterday, and I'm just looking at it. It's the Lindbergh. It's an evergreen kit. Nice to have it back from many years ago. But you can say, well, all right, that's a simplistic kit. Yeah, kind of it is. But I kind of like that too, because I like to take an engine and dress it up, put some stuff on it, make it look better than it started out. I actually did a model with the engine block from the Tijuana Taxi. And then I put, aftermarket stuff on it and parts from other kits and made it look like a really nice engine. So I'm going to try and do that with this kit. Here's another thing. This is a resin sectioned grill shell from our friend Bob Coronel at the Model Car Garage. This is a nice piece. It's about a 4-inch section, so that's going to look good and help make this thing look nice and streamlined. Here's the grill, and as you can see, it's very finely made. It's photo etch, obviously. That's going to look good on there. Now, what else? I think that's about it for this kit. Oh no, the seats. I don't want to use the bench seat. I have a lot of seats that I've picked up over the years, and this is just one set that I pulled out. I got, I think, 4 or 5 sets of seats at the Liars contest. They were like $1 a piece. I just couldn't say no. So I think if the body is metallic blue, maybe I'll do the interior in a dark blue. Maybe I'll highlight it with a little, I don't know, pale yellow. I'm not sure about it, but I'm thinking about that. So I think maybe it'll come out pretty well. So all the stuff has to get done. I'm going to get going on it, and I'll catch you up once I have some progress. Well, here's something that's kind of interesting. I had kind of forgotten about it. When I went into the box to look at the parts for this kit, I found these things. These are just aluminum tubing that I had cut down, 2 of them, and 2 of these nail heads that I had polished up. And what I decided to do was to make my own air cleaners for dual carbs on the engine. Here is an engine that I had started to mock up. These air cleaners are not put on permanently. They're just stuck on there with fun tack. But as you can see, they've got kind of a polished look to the top, and then kind of a element. I use like a black element for this particular model. You could also use nail heads on the bottom to make it 2-sided, up top and bottom. And this, by the way, is the engine block from the Tijuana Taxi that I was talking about. I got a start on it. Haven't done much with it lately, but you know, it's got some potential, and I think it's going to come along okay. In any case, this is the nail. It's an aluminum nail. I think it's a roofing nail, but it's very light, very lightweight, not hard to polish, not hard to cut off. You could use a cutting disc on your Dremel, or you could use a hacksaw. Just make sure that you wear whatever eye protection or other protection would be required for that. Let me show you the way it works, as if you can't guess, right? Here it is, chucked up in the Dremel. I turn it on at very low speed. I've got, you know, an old file that I really don't have a lot of use for anymore, but it will work for this. You have to give it a light touch and just keep running it back and forth. It takes a little while. You don't want it to get caught and go flying off. You don't want to push too hard that you're going to break the nail or anything. You could also make the head of the air cleaner smaller by going on the side like that, but just give that a polish, and then when you're done with the metal file, take an old sanding stick or something and give it a little polish like that. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but as you can see, it's starting to get kind of a polish on it. Not entirely, but it's beginning. So that's the way that works. Then you cut it off and you put it together. Now, with these, I measured them out to be fairly small. For the carburetors that I was using, you can make them bigger. And I put the filter element is this stuff. This is KT tape. I think it's athletic tape. Actually, I think I bought it years ago in the supermarket. It's self-adhesive. So all you have to do is, you know, mark it off, cut it to size on the back, peel off the paper. With this stuff, I would set the aluminum tube on its side and then just roll it like that onto the tape, because if you pull the tape, it's very stretchy and it might open up a little. But that's one way to do it. You could also use almost anything else. You could use a ribbon for a filter element, or white athletic tape, or any color, whatever you think will give you the impression of having a paper element, something with some texture to it. Okay, back again. Now it's been another couple of days, and I've done some more work on the body. I did get the firewall in. Surprisingly, it took quite a long time to get that to fit. A lot of sanding and shaping, a lot of gluing. This particular side, for some reason, was kind of sticking out a little too much, and it, of course, should be in more. I started to try and heat it to move it in. I don't really like that. I'm always, especially with something thin as this, I'm afraid it's going to melt and I'm going to have a lot of problems. I did a lot to try and get this body where it is now. So I just kind of pulled it in. Because it's thin, it did move very easily, and glued it against the firewall. It's fine. It took shape. The top of this is ready to get that Duval windshield, and we'll get to that at some point. This wheel arch, you may recall, had a kind of a half rim on it. I was going to add to it, decided not to. I carved it out and then just put in one whole new rim. And we will work more on that because obviously it needs a little putty and a little sanding out. Got the trunk lid on. Interestingly, these particular wheel wells have an inner arch or an inner well, and they don't really, if you look at that, they're a little short. Surprisingly, because the body is sectioned, but really the whole wheel well was dropped down more. So the sectioning came out of the top above the wheel well. So I have to cut out new inner fenders and put that in, and I'll follow the shape of this. These may look like they're really big wheel wells. They're not. If you look here, let me see if I can do this. Yeah. It's a little bit longer, maybe what? 1/8 of an inch is all. Not enough to make me want to carve the wheel well out of this body and graft it into this one. I think that this is going to work out okay. And then once the inner fenders are in there and they get fixed up a little bit, I think it'll be fine. So it's coming along. Some other things that I wanted to do, I went into the parts box and took out some parts. I decided I'm going to use these wheels. These are from Z-Man, Steve Zimmerman, and his stuff is great. I love these things. They're just beautifully finished. They look wonderful. They're just the right size. The rears are a little bit bigger than the kit tires, but not so much. They're a little bit wider. That's all right. They're all going to fit, and it'll be fine. I did work on the disc brakes, painted up the brakes in aluminum, and then the calipers I hit with the blue metallic Display pen. So those are done and they're ready to go. What else do I have? Well, I have the engine here, and I decided I would do an aftermarket valve cover. Here's one. I'm pretty sure this was not marked. I'm pretty sure that this is from Bob Dudek. It's just his style. And I have a number of parts from Bob. It's really nice. I don't even think I was going to think about putting some color on the top of the valve cover. It's just so nicely machined, so nice and shiny. I think I'm just going to go with it the way it is. In addition, I pulled out some carburetors. I'm not too sure of these. This is a company that was around for a while, Model Parts Specialties. These are metal carburetors. Yeah, I didn't take them out. But you can see they're pretty nicely detailed. Being metal, it would be a little hard to drill out for linkage. Plus, they're a little bit thicker than the part from the kit. And I think that those carburetors from the kit are a little thinner for a reason. So I may not use these. I'm going to look and see. Also got a Morgan distributor with blue wire to match the color. And I found these Detail Master exhaust tips. They're kind of fluted on the end. I think that might be an interesting detail. And I think that is all I have for now. So this video is running about to its maximum length, and I think I'm going to cut it and come back with a new video as I make progress. So again, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.